Hopefully, we are live. If this is going to pop up and actually do what it's supposed to be doing.
Popping up.
Hold on, let me make sure I got all of this.
Oh, Elmo, touch a kitty.
Yep, and
That would
we're
be
on.
so great if that actually went live and that's what happened. Elmo, touch a kitty.
I think it did actually. We are back.
Yeah, don't make this weird. Coming out the gate swinging. Yeah, buddy.
Gotta make
It's
something.
Elmo's world. Come here, kitty.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
pretty
that's
good.
great.
And we're back.
All right, what we got going on here?
Yeah, you got Twitch over there. I got YouTube.
I'm trying to get Twitch because
Told everybody else that we were coming back. They're not here yet.
Yeah. Oh shit.
There we go. We got 2 people.
Oh,
Come on,
shit.
guys. Tell your friends. Bring them here.
That's
Let's
right.
talk.
We have a computer crash.
No, it was actually XSplit took a shit, so it
We
was just
had
like.
some malfunctions.
Did you
All
get
right,
the
so we
latest
are back.
updates and stuff like that?
Dude, every time I'm here, I'm like, okay, so there's an update. Click, click, click. All that shit's done
'Cause
before.
Xbox updates are not like Microsoft updates where they go, "Oh, sorry, we fucked it up worse."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, there's a new Windows 10 X. Oh, I'll wait to see how bad everybody else's computer crashes before I do this one.
Right.
Beautiful. So are you good? You back on?
I don't know. I'm trying to listen to it to see what it sounds like.
There we go.
Yep, we're good. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So
All right. We are back.
we are back. We've been back a little bit here.
That's
I don't
right.
know if you heard the Elmo Kitty.
What time I shoe?
Oh,
Meanwhile, you ain't got any feet.
man, look, I didn't tie my shoes, man.
You ain't got no feet.
Oh, shit.
And Kenneth's joining us. Yes, you are. You are. Can hear you guys loud and clear. Perfect. Thank you.
Loud and clear.
I miss her.
I know.
I haven't seen her in forever.
It's been a long time.
Kind of get your ass over here.
Come on.
We're lighting off fireworks and hanging out and having a good time. We're not lighting them off in the studio at this moment.
Working on that.
Other things are getting lit, I think.
Toby's
What?
ass.
What you saying?
Nate's waving
Apparently,
his
my
hand.
ass is getting lit.
You know what I realized when I left today, the man cave. I went down and grabbed a glass and then realized this was the smallest Di Serono bottle that I had. I was like,
That's
well,
huge.
That's a travel size, right?
Right.
Travel size. That's travel size for a year or 2 for me.
1.75 liters. It's
Yeah, that
almost a
sounds
2
about
liter of Di Serono.
Oh my god, man.
Well, I mean, when we're drinking Arbor Mist, the blackberry, it's 1.5 liters, and I killed one of those sitting in the session when we were.
You're a lush.
What?
But I don't drink that whole thing. I mean,
Shut up.
I
in
can
one
hang with
sitting.
the travel size airplane bottle, maybe.
but I was like,
Not even that. You
Not even
sniff it,
that.
you're
What are you
like,
talking about?
"Woohoo!"
I looked at the bottle. I'm like, do I dump this into something? Fuck it.
But that's one thing we were kind
I'm
of
not gonna
talking
drink it
about.
all,
but-
Like
Well, yeah.
when we drink, it's like I don't really drink much anymore, obviously. But everybody else though that's around is like happy. They're not jerks, not wanting to fight, not wanting.
That's the rule.
You know,
We
I
drink.
like those kind of.
We don't drink to get happy.
alcoholics.
We drink because we're happy.
Well, and you were talking about the cheese stick story.
Cheese stick story.
Oh,
And
I
we're not
love the
talking
cheese.
mozzarella. Okay, so usually at your party, somebody comes with a tray that has meat and cheese on it cut up.
usually.
Usually. So it's been sitting out. What does it do after a while? It's just no one's going to eat that. So I
Right.
stuck it on the stir sticks and started doing this and whatever with it. And
She
You
was doing like a
forgot
Benny and
part
June
of the
thing.
Story, though.
what did I forget?
You were toasty.
It hit
Very
me.
toasty.
It hit me like an hour after I had that drink.
Yeah.
Like out of
A
nowhere.
drink. After I had that drink.
That drink.
It was a drink.
That one. It wasn't tequila. Go ahead.
It was like half a shot, and then on top of that, she's going, yeah.
Looking retarded.
And Nate
Well,
and Tony were.
I mean, you kind of
Hey,
were
Bobby!
because.
And she's like, "Geez, Dad." It was great.
Back from you. Like I clearly remember it way better than that.
I don't know. According to Sean, he's like, God, you guys sounded fucking retarded. Why would you shut up? You were laughing for 10 minutes straight.
It was stupid. It was the stupidest thing.
Hey, it was free entertainment. You cannot
Oh,
It
pass
was.
it up.
That's great.
It was, and I will
That's the
reenact it when people bring cheese again.
It was
Nate-
better than Titties and Beer Boy on the drum.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, I remember titty beard boy.
All I know is Nate and I were just doubled over laughing our asses off.
and then you guys at one point,
"Nick-a-dick-a-doo."
and at one point you guys went outside, and I went out the door and was like, that I did, but not like weird.
Oh, you did. You did.
Maybe I did, but I don't recall it that way.
See, you always miss the best stuff when you leave.
Yeah,
When
at a
you
certain
leave to
point,
go
I
to
go,
bed.
all right.
I'm fucking tired. Screw
I'm
you
done.
guys.
Probably about 5 minutes it kicked in.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to bed.
I don't blame you.
You know, years
No.
ago, Tony can testify to this. There would be certain points when I didn't have a man cave, just a house.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, y'all motherfuckers need to get out. I'm going to bed. And you're all loud.
Was that the Cass Avenue house?
Many times.
Yes. Yeah.
I would be like, okay, time to get out. I love y'all. Go home.
You gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
It's closing time. Now that I got a man cave, I'm like, all right, don't break shit. I'm going to bed. No, actually, again, the tone that I can't even say set or strive for because it's almost automatic.
Yeah, it
because
just happens. You walk through
I've-
the door and you feel at peace, man. I mean, shit, Monday. I texted you ahead of time, called you up and said, man,
Yep.
I'm having a fucking shit day. I totally shit the bed. I need some sanctuary time, man. And dude, I walk through the door.
Yep.
Not that this is any different from any other time I walk through the door. And the biggest hug I ever got to
Right.
that point.
Right?
And you're like, hey, motherfucker, I want to see a smile on that face. And we're binging Chinese and we're smashing food. And it's just like, I'm home. You know?
And that's what it's about, dude. And,
Yeah.
and you know, I studied this. I've studied for a long time, but one of the scriptures that I actually adhere to is not. Adhere to a lot of the scriptures, but one of the ones that I like adore
Right.
is it says, "Peacemakers who sow in peace raise a harvest of righteousness." And so, first of all, you have to determine: am I a peacemaker? Well, then I'm constantly planting, sowing peace wherever I go, whatever I'm doing. And so, of course, the place that's mine
Yeah.
is going to be a place of peace.
Yeah.
And people tangibly feel that. You know that. You come to expect that.
Right.
But there are people that come there for the first time and they're like, wow, it's so just it feels peaceful here.
Yeah.
They even say the word without even having to think about it. And I don't
Candy
have to go
said
into
it.
a dialogue.
Heather said it. Nate said it. Sean was just like, this place is pretty
Dude, you
fucking
can just relax here, man. This is
You're
so cool.
right.
Dawn wanted to live there.
Hey, can I get you got any more Mountain Dew?
I think we might need to bring Laura down there once.
No, no,
no.
no.
She,
Nope.
She's not part of the Cool Kids Club.
Everybody else is like, we don't want to disturb our peace.
But, you know,
We're not playing that.
the word that we translate righteousness in the Greek, it actually means the state or condition of him who is
Right.
as he ought to be.
Right.
So righteousness really means being exactly who you're supposed to be at that moment.
Absolutely.
And so when you're a peacemaker, you sow seeds with the expectation that people get into a place of being themselves,
And that translates a lot to when
their
we're
best self.
when we're writing music together too.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, the last time we were down there, we were recording really heavy. We did "Rain," which is a song, we hadn't worked on in 16 years, 15 years, something like that.
Right?
And it translated at its very rough core of getting stuff tracked. And it was like, man, this is fucking great because it's for the first pass through of getting everything rough.
Yeah.
Is the best representations of ourselves musically, and we always gel well together because there's always somebody down there going, "Hey, what are you guys working on? Is that something cool? Can I jump on? Can I do something with it?"
Right. Right.
You know, and it's always so cool because, you know, even rehearsal Monday night, it's like, "Hey, is an acoustic work?" And
Right.
what the fuck were we playing? Was it Tuesdays Gone? No, it was shit. What was it? Oh, it was Sublime. Captain.
The Sublime Captain medley. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, Jimmy. Hey, it's fucking 2 chords. Quit fucking it up.
another thing that I like too about that, not just about the peacefulness and whatnot, but another good thing is when you come down there, you feel like you can do and like be yourself, like you said.
Yeah.
Well, Sean
absolutely.
had brought down a friend who got up there and was playing before the
Jacob.
show.
Jacob. Oh God.
Awesome.
Hey, talk about that a little bit from your experience, Sean, about you and Jacob coming down there.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Because he came in all excited, and then he, at a certain point, we're doing our sets and everything like that, and Chicago Jimmy was the one. He goes, "Where's that young man? He can come sit in on a couple songs. with
Bring
us.
him up on the stage.
Bring him up
with
on the
us.
stage." And he's like, "What?" And he jumped up there and jammed out with us.
It was
you know?
good.
It
Really
made his
good.
world. Made his world. Felt
Absolutely.
pretty damn special.
You know, and that's what it's about. That.
That's why I want to get my boy on the drums. 'cause-
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't practice enough.
He
I'm
is
not that good.
Last
What?
time,
Practice enough.
last
Okay.
time I was down there, you got on the drums, and holy shit.
I don't practice enough. I'm not that good.
Dude, I'm telling you.
When you get in your
Hey.
zone and not think about it, you kick ass.
I'm calling bullshit because Al does the exact same thing,
Yep,
and when
he does.
Al gets on that kit, he fucking lights it
Well,
up.
Al's a fucking legend, okay?
You're not
I mean,
wrong,
he
but
is.
you do the same thing.
Al is quite the. If we can get Al on the drums, it's like.
Yeah, no
It
shit.
is. Like,
Man,
everybody
he's-
shut up.
But no, it was cool because Sean and Jacob were outside hanging by the bonfire pit. And what was this? Was this set 3 that we were doing? Or was it set 2? It was set. Yeah, it was
2
set
because I
okay.
don't think we got to a set 3.
No. So Sean and Jacob are out there, and I'm like, Jacob, you're up. He's like,
What?
What? I'm like, come grab this guitar and get on stage. He looks at Sean like, are they for real?
I was like, you don't need to ask me for nothing.
Right. So he's like, oh, all right. So he's walking up. I'm like, yeah, Chicago Jimmy wants you to play on stage. And he's like, really? Really? I'm like, dude, get the fuck up here.
I'm not going to give you a dissertation on why you need to do this.
Right.
Get up there and do it.
And it was great because playing on stage with this kid and obviously the rest of you, dude, he was fucking grinning from ear to ear.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hey, man, here's the 4 chords or 3 chords or whatever it was that we were playing. And I'm like, go. And
He did.
he did. It was great because Jimmy's like, go ahead. It was great, man.
That was cool. It was very cool because you really do feel like you're like yourself. You're not worried about who's judging anything or worried about, okay, so I'm up here dancing. I probably look like a fool, but nobody gives a shit there.
No.
Nobody cares because everybody's dancing and
If
having a
anybody's
good time.
judging, you're judging yourself. No one else is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the beauty. And I look for environments like that. And it really, it comes back to that. I've been in places where it's negative and it's like, you know what? Fuck all that, dude. We're going to come
Exactly.
in here and relax.
That's right.
And have a good time. And I've had to, there's been a few people that were not necessarily part of our friends and family circles that
Right.
ended up being at the man cave through circumstances
Yep.
that had a little drama. And I immediately go over and I go, no, we're not doing this. And I shut it right down.
Sandy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Tony.
No. I was thinking of other people.
Yeah.
But I've walked right over and I go, is there a problem over here? Ooh, and I'm like, take it out. Dude,
No.
It's
See
not
ya.
here.
There's no
It's not
drama
for
here.
No.
okay? If you're not here to have a good time and enjoy everybody and appreciate everybody for who
Right.
they are
Right.
and have a drink and laugh,
Right.
there's the door.
Yep.
I don't have time for that. There's too much bullshit in the world. There's too much, the shit that we're dealing with right now.
Right.
It's like, dude, there needs to be sanctuaries.
Go back
Absolutely.
outside, lay it outside.
Right.
If you're
Yep.
gonna be cool, then cool. If you're not gonna be cool, then see you later.
And I
we
love
don't
how
need it.
I love how you describe that as sanctuary because I mean for me there's been God countless times I and I don't want to say escaped but having it be a sanctuary let me work through my mental and emotional shit
Mm-hmm.
and write music and just get that catharsis out and get done at the end of the day you're coming back and you're like bro you missed it and I'm like this is what I was working on and you're like
I missed it.
Right. So, here we are, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You got to get up and work in like 3 hours. And you're like, give me another take. Give me another take. And I'm like, oh okay.
I'm gonna say too, like I'm gonna kind of pull it in a different direction here, but with Candy, and not to put you on the spot here, but I know like you have a whole thing with Serenity Cooperative that you're trying to go towards, and that whole peaceful, community kind of thing, and being there, did that make you kind of want that even more? Seeing like how everybody kind of comes together.
Yeah, because let's be honest, society's going to hell in a handbasket as each and every day goes by. More hate, more. It's not going to get better. So you basically have to find your people, find your tribe, find your community, and hang on to that, and try to create a loving world for your people. So the whole thing with the Serenity Cooperative is I wanted to create a community where we're all helping each other out. I mean, getting back to simplistic life.
Mhm.
It's not a simple life because you're out, you're gardening, you're farming, you're doing all this stuff, working on crafts, making soap, whatever.
You're
But-
making a true community effort.
Exactly. Everybody contributes, and if you're all working together, it makes lighter work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all a common goal that, it's going to be all peace and harmony and, and just working together and creating a better world.
Mm-hmm. Even if it is just within a smaller, kind of like a dome within the dome, biodome thing. But seriously, though, I mean, it sounds like such a great
Anatomically
idea.
correct.
And it's kind of like that feel of going down to the man
Oh,
cave.
yes,
You
most
have
definitely.
that little bit of a community, and even though it's just for the weekend or a couple
this is-
days, but still.
And it's amazing to me. I mean, I'm in the middle of it, but I also watch from the outside and pay attention because it's my environment. So I don't have to. I'm not on the edge, but I'm still somewhat vigilant. I'm watching things and watching, how people are conducting themselves,
Right.
not in a judgmental way, but you don't. It takes one stupidity out of hand
Yeah.
to mess up a good thing. But at the same time, when you set a tone,
Everybody else kind of falls in line.
everybody
with it.
falls in line with that. And every once in a while, you have a few frisky people, and you go, "Hey,
Yeah.
that's not what we do here." But again, it's a matter of how do you I've always been of that opinion, and I've seen it work.
Yeah.
Throughout my years, that you set a tone.
Yep.
And you don't even really have to ask people to abide by it. If you set a tone strong enough, and you're the example of it, then when people walk into that environment,
Yeah.
they feel it, they sense it, and they go, "Wow." And I've actually seen, not at the man cave, but in other situations when we were doing regular church services and even when we were at Gully Road, I've seen people that come in and they're clearly uncomfortable because they're not a person seeking peace. They're
Yeah.
not a person seeking their own best.
Of course.
They're seeking, they thrive on drama. And I go,
Not today.
not here,
Right.
and you see them get uncomfortable. And that's the cool thing is it's amazing to me because I watch the eclectic group of people that come in. And we have new people on a regular basis that
All
will
the
come
time.
to a show and come to stuff. And they all just they walk in and they kind of
Drew.
They get a feel for it and they go, cool, and they relax right into it. And that to me is one of the most satisfying things.
Absolutely.
Is without verbal communication, without verbal cues or visual cues, people sensing the atmosphere
Yep.
and going, I can be myself. It'll take me a minute to shake off some stuff probably, but I can be myself and I can enjoy myself.
Yep.
And isn't that what life's about?
It
Oh,
should
yeah.
be.
Absolutely.
It should be
I
about
mean,
it.
Solomon wrote, "It's enough that a man eat and drink and enjoy all the days of his life."
We should all
know?
live by that. Another thing too, and not to put Sean on the spot right now too, but with you being a teenager and everything, and then having your dad there and coming to hang out, like you still felt really comfortable and had a good time. I guess that's a
Yes.
question. Yes. But
A little more.
That's a little thing though. That's another thing that I like about it is it's just not like our generation or our age. You've got
No.
Sean coming and hanging out. You bring in
Right.
Jacob, and then we have Nate and friends.
And we have
So it's
Mom.
kind of cool. Plus, we've got the little ones that come and hang out too.
Oh, the grandkids
The
show up.
grandkids,
Absolutely.
so it's a really cool environment for everybody and a safe environment.
And
Yeah.
and one of the things that I strive to do, like I said, being vigilant and paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, asking Sean, the first time you ever came down to the man cave, you walked in, everybody hugged.
Yeah.
I hugged you, Sean. Good to see you. And what did I say? I
Right.
said, until we go live with something or do the show,
Right.
I said the man cave's yours. There's the PlayStation.
Right.
There's the hookup.
Yep.
Have at it.
Right.
And he went, okay. And if you
Almost
have,
verbatim, that's what
if
he
you,
did.
if you haven't played PlayStation on a 17.5-foot diagonal screen,
Fucking so badass.
Bro,
Uh,
Sean and I were doing the racing game.
Yeah,
We
so-
still have to get back
Up
to
to
that.
like
Can't you go-
4 in the morning playing.
can't you do quad on that
6 in the
screen?
morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so doing quads on my projector
It's bigger than a
is
70
bigger than a 70-inch screen per screen.
Right, right.
Yeah, because so it's 17.5 feet
Feet.
from corner to corner
Right.
on the screen. So it's
It's
Yeah.
fucking huge.
it's huge. And so that was, but my point of bringing that up is when Sean walked in, I took his temperature
Yeah.
and I said, and I, in just that moment, and that's part of what the Lord has taught me over the years of how to read people.
Right.
But I took his temperature at that moment because he's in an environment that he's been around me, but he hasn't been in that environment.
Right.
And I said, Lord, I do that quick bounce off
course.
of heaven or off the Spirit, and I go, what does he need? And he goes, go over there and fill his dance card. Go over there and
Right.
ingratiate him to
Right.
the environment.
Exactly.
And from that moment on, he knew I can relax. So then when it came around,
yeah.
and I said, Sean, it's time for us to do the show, he didn't hesitate. Shut the thing down.
Right.
Said, okay, cool. And backed up
Right.
and let us have our way because I honored him in my environment. Therefore, he turned and honored me when I needed to do something in my environment. And that's just one case, and he's sitting here, so I'm bringing that up. Everybody else have
Right.
had that experiences,
Of course. Well, and even that much farther is the fact that, when we were throwing lines and rewiring stuff and setting stuff up,
Mhm.
You're like, hey, Sean, can I get you to do this?
Yeah.
Boom, pops right up and just ran with it,
Yep.
doing all the stuff that we needed to do
Yep.
to get the show moving that much more. And when he was done, I watched him, and he's like, is there anything else you need to go through and
Exactly.
do?
I'm always asking, like, is there anything else I need to do?
Right,
Place this
exactly.
chord or place this here?
I mean, and him and Nate were a dynamic duo, and I'm like, all right, can you guys go do this? And I always do that. I don't go, hey, do this. I'm providing a place for you to hang out.
Right.
I'll go and get your shit going. Now, I come in with honor. And
Yeah.
I go, hey, can you guys do this for me? And they go, what else do you need? Is that it? Is that it?
Right.
Because they also come in like you guys will see when you come down this
Yeah.
weekend. You'll see all the work that I've done, and predominantly it was predominantly me. Vince
Right.
helped me here and there,
Right.
but for the most part, I was the one that was driven to do all the work
Yeah.
and do that stuff. So when they walk in and I go, hey, can you help me run this chords? They know I ran the other 15 fucking chords that are in there.
Yeah.
You know, and they go, yeah, but it also, it includes everybody.
Of course.
It brings that's part of a community. It's not just sharing the tasks equally and sharing responsibilities and things like that, but it's also helping people
Yeah.
feel included. And you have to, as the overseer of that, it's my man cave, okay? As the overseer of that, I have to be mindful of what helps people feel comfortable in that environment. The peace is certainly a blanket covering over the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then looking at people, when Heather came in and said, would you mind if I ran bar? And I said, mind? Please, be the bartender.
Right.
Went
It
and got a
was so
bucket,
fun.
put tips on the side of it,
Right.
and
Sue
said,
loved it.
do the bar. And so now apparently there's some kind of
don't even know.
conspiracy going on between my wife and Heather and Candy and somebody else.
I don't
And
know. I don't even know. I was
yeah,
last-
Coyote Ugly Bar.
there's some kind of thing, and I'm apparently I need to make the new. Well, I know I'm going to make the new bar for my
Yes.
wife,
Yes.
and the old bar that I made in January will become my official cooking bar. I'm going to
Yes.
change it up and
Yes.
put cooktop in there. But then apparently, you know, I
was
don't know. The
less
bar
than
is not
that.
going to be that big. It's only going to be like 21
feet.
Oh,
feet.
whatever.
So I mean, it's not that we're going to need several people back there.
Oh, no,
Serving
we're
drinks.
dancing on the bar, Coyote.
Make sure
Well,
make sure it's shorter than 5 feet so Heather can reach it. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's your girl, bro.
Adam, you're
Shots
sleeping on the
fired,
couch
baby.
tonight.
Oh.
Well, I know I'm going home with her, but I'm being helpful. I'm not being hurtful, so she can reach it.
You're
Nice.
telling yourself that.
Yeah, keep backpedaling, buddy.
We make bars standard, and we have step stools.
Yeah, see, I'm used to that. When you're short, you work around these things. You
No,
know?
all the bars are custom, and
Yeah.
we got to order some tall chairs for all that stuff. 'cause
That's
I
right.
want them to feel good. So yeah, but that's. I mean, hey, you do. I've learned that over the years is how to. I always look to build people up that come into my environment, and you got to judge. Obviously, there's some people that come into your environment and they're not in the right place, and they're not open to finding their own best, and you quickly move on from those people because you don't want to spend your time. Jesus said you don't cast your pearls before swine. But the vast majority of people in my life are people that are doing the best that they can.
Right.
And that was the people that the church tried to teach me as a young person, that you go and attack because they're not being religious enough.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to attack. I remember looking at my grandfather, you know, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't go to church. He doesn't do this, you know? And I go, he works his ass off. He takes care of his family.
Right.
He loves on his kids.
Right.
Loves on his grandkids.
Right.
Why would I ever walk up to that man and go, "You're a sinner and you've broken all the commandments and Jesus"? Is and I go, but that's what I was being told. And I
Right,
go,
right.
this shit doesn't work.
I was raised the same way, man. It was
I'm like,
fire,
what
brimstone,
the
hell, and damnation.
No.
If you fart wrong, you're going to hell because hell is hot and you're a sinner.
Get
Yeah,
the
and I
holy
go-
water.
I go, that's not
Right.
not a compassionate God. A compassionate God looks at people that are trying to do their best. Now, other people that are not trying to do their best, of course.
Right.
Listen, if some stupid fuck came into my place and was trying to hurt the people around me, guess what I'm going to do?
Fuck
I'm
'em
going
up.
to stop that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if they're not trying to hurt people, then
Right.
hey, do your thing.
Right.
I mean, I got a safe full of guns.
Right?
Speaking of another kick-ass venue, the Vault, our boys, Bill and Bill, they're getting ready to open some stuff up. In fact, I think it's next week, isn't it?
No, that show's actually been canceled. I told you before. so-
18th?
Yeah.
Oh, the 18th has been
Unfortunately,
canceled?
the 18th has been canceled.
Shit.
They are going to continue working towards more shows, but they have done a lot of work over there.
Yeah. we
But
gotta
also,
get
while
over
we're on it, we'll give them a shout out. Tuscola Palooza is supposed to be going for August 1st
Right.
with lots of bands already. You can only get tickets at the gate. You cannot pre-order because of everything going on. They're still playing it by ear.
And it all was bullshit.
that.
And so we want to go to giving a shout out to SolidStateRadio.net.
SolidStateRadio.net, where
They
all
are
of our
not
shit is
canceled.
re-aired.
They are not canceled.
You know, I still need to see the couple of the texts and posts that you got recently.
Oh,
You're hoarding them on me.
dude.
Wait, what?
I send them to you. I don't. I
No.
apparently you never
yeah,
get
like
them.
Are you up yet? That came
Right.
through 4 times on my phone. He's like, I only sent it once. Well, your stupid phone
Yep.
likes to
His
multiply.
phone
Like,
just
my phone
junk.
apparently has autism. So.
Mine did it 17 times.
I got
What?
one text message sent from Heather's phone that came into mine 17 times. Not once, not twice, 17.
Yeah.
And
What?
it was continuous.
What's the I
what
love you?
service are you guys on?
We're
Verizon.
actually on
Metro PCS.
Metro.
Ghetto PCS.
Actually, Metro has been, I haven't found a place yet where it doesn't have service. Not in the entire state of Michigan.
But having service so that you can get
Wait.
17 times the messages.
Right.
Well, Murphy Lake's the only one. You're not wrong. Murphy Lake, no.
That's because
phone
Murphy
service.
Lake's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Right, Murphy Lake's the only one nobody has service.
I love it out there, though, honestly.
I thought we'd have no service when we went to the UP on the fishing trip. When we got up there, Nate, it's like there was one like 3-mile stretch
Yeah.
in the middle of a swap.
where I lost service, and I was like, I was coming up here for sanctuary and
Right.
peace and quiet,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm surfing. Of course, I brought the laptop because I was going to write,
Right.
and I'm like, well, if I have internet, I have internet, but otherwise, it's
Yeah.
flowing out of me when I'm writing.
Of course.
But you still like to look up stuff,
Of
look up
course.
definitions, and I'm like, I had the hotspot. I'm
Yeah.
like, I got 5 fucking bars out in the middle of the woods,
How does this work?
Right.
right?
Because Vince and I were on our phones listening
The
to
whole-
music and shit fishing in the
We
middle
were
of
s-
a fucking pond.
Yeah.
We were in the middle of the swamp and had 5 bars of service.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of writing, I know you tuned in for the Cogwork Slums kind of episode that we had. Did you tune in when we had Leon on?
I didn't get a chance. When was that?
That was
last
the
week?
rehearsal. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You
That's
were
when
rehearsing.
you
It was
guys-
last
But
week.
you,
Yeah,
but
we
you
had to
did.
rehearse.
You were on when we were talking about the music and the different stuff. There's some cool stuff kicking up with that too.
Absolutely.
Yo,
And I
it's so
said,
good.
you know, whatever if we need to facilitate some stuff at the man cave, dude, I would love to do some. You
Yeah.
throw up, you hang up a couple green screens and a few things like that to change the environment.
Yeah.
And we've already got some green screens down there.
Well, and you also got that badass bar, so I'm just saying.
Oh hell yeah!
It'd work out for Jesse's.
There was a discussion about Renfest type of thing.
Yeah.
something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So
Doing a rain
Worlds
fair.
collide kind of like
yeah.
party with Cuz,
Yeah.
and that'd be so fun.
Yeah, yeah, definitely be a cool thing to do. I have already broached the subject and was like, yeah. So I got that tacit approval, but also was suggested that, and I haven't brought this up to them, but Alan Morgan just got a house with 10 acres.
Oh hell yeah!
God.
So to have some kind of a little bit larger, more spacious than my 3.5
Yeah.
acres might be cool too. But
Still gotta get out
But
there.
either
and see
way,
their
dude,
place.
we got some stuff coming up, and you know
We got
what?
some big stuff coming up.
And as much as it sucks right now, some of the things going on, I am thankful that it's going on because it's bringing to light a lot of the bullshit that people are trying to pull and the overreaches that they're trying to do. And I want it to come to light because, I mean, our governor just announced that she's shutting bars back down that make 70% of their money off of liquor. And I'm like,
What?
yes.
That happened yesterday.
And,
Wow.
but you can get cocktails to go.
So you can drink and drive. You just can't
Oh,
do it at
well,
the bar.
we wouldn't assume that, Tony.
Right.
We're
What
doing
the
this.
fuck
To,
else are you gonna
we're
do
doing
with
this to keep everybody
minute.
safe because there's an uptick in cases.
Okay.
There's not an uptick in deaths, but there's an
Fuck off.
uptick in cases.
Oh,
Why?
uh,
Because you're recording them the way you're recording them, and you know what? All of
Right.
your cases. Tell me how many of them are symptomatic.
Right.
Well, that's not the point. Yeah, it is the point.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, and if you've had any type of corona
Yeah.
in the last year,
Yeah.
your antibodies will test positive on this. So if I've been sick with anything,
Yeah.
even if I've had the flu
Yes.
shot,
Yes.
I would test positive
Of course.
in their test.
Yep.
And then what they're doing, we know for sure in Texas, is
Yes.
if you don't take the test,
Yeah.
if you've got the sniffles, a fever, or a cough
Yeah.
in Texas,
Yeah.
they'll diagnose you with COVID and assume that you've been in contact with at least 15 people and record 16 people
Yeah.
in their COVID numbers.
Yeah.
And then put it out and go, see, there's an uptick. You bunch of fucking liars.
Yeah.
And for that, you're shutting all these people. Look at all these little bars
Yeah.
and little businesses
Yeah.
and all the stores and all this stuff. But Walmart's fucking open
Yeah.
because they're going to conform to whatever they want. You know, like
That's bullshit.
literally watch through the window the kid make my stuff at Taco Bell on the way down here, right? And then they bag it up and put the little sticker on it, and they take my Mountain Dew and they put it in, and they both put them in this tray, and the guy hands me a tray.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take my credit card.
Right.
He hands the thing out and does it. And I'm like, and one city over, if I drove into that Taco Bell, they'd take my card, they'd still have gloves on, they'd smile
course.
at me, they'd hand me my food.
Right.
I'm like, this is so inconsistent and so much bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're on point, and that's the fucked up part about it is the fact that because of this shit, I think the real merit of all of this is the people that are needing to pull together, wanting to pull together, are doing just that, going, you know what? We've got bigger fucking plans, and it ain't for social distancing.
I've anecdotally found that 99% of the people I'm in contact with are like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And the majority of them that are wearing masks and are doing certain things
Yeah.
at their job is because it's the form of slavery we have now. We have a debt slavery.
Yes.
Okay, we used to have feudal systems, and before that, you had straight up slavery, and then we had a form of slavery here. Obviously, the founding of our country, we had a form of slavery. It wasn't the feudal systems. It wasn't that, and so they
Indentured
realized,
servitude.
yeah, they had indentured servitude, and they realized we got to have a slavery system, and
course.
it was debt slavery.
Yeah.
And we're all in that debt slavery. The only reason that people are conforming
Yeah.
to wearing masks in workplaces is because they need a job and they've been without work,
Right.
and they need to be back to work. So they're like, fuck it, I have to wear this mask to work.
Right.
There was a waitress the other day at the restaurant. She's like, I hate this thing. And they doing tests where they put a tester up in there, an OSHA tester,
Yeah.
and within 10 to 15 seconds of wearing a cloth mask,
Right.
your carbon dioxide goes above safe limits and your oxygen is depleted in a cloth mask.
Yes.
And that's why people are getting headaches and having fainting spells and all sorts of stuff. But my whole point about all of this is, if you go down the line, the masks, the social distancing, we can't gather in parties too big. It's all about separating us and making us conform to fear. Right. It's all about keeping us separated from each other, and we thrive on it. The reason I hate masks, and I've refused to wear one. I have not worn one to this day.
Right.
Okay, through this entire thing. If you don't want me to come into your store with a mask, without having a mask on, I won't go in your store. That's fine. That's your choice. Okay, but because I want to see your face.
Right.
I want to see your smile.
Right.
I'm all about connecting with people. I want to see what's going on. And your face there's 200 muscles or something like that. And all of the micro expressions that you have, I want to be able to read you. I want to be able to, see your expression and feel what you're feeling and connect with you.
Absolutely.
The hugs that we do, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what really pisses me off above everything else, about the reason they're lying about the numbers and they're inflating all sorts of shit and they're doing all that. The reason it pisses me off the most is because there's an agenda underneath this to divide and conquer people and to keep us separated from each other. And so, I honor those people that aren't comfortable with certain things, but I tell them, look, if you're not comfortable, you might not want to come, because I'm going to love on people, and I want to connect with people, and I want to see your face, and I want to see you smile. I've told several people that where we've gone into restaurants or fast foods or whatever, I'm like, if it doesn't get you in trouble, feel free to take the mask off, because I want to see your smile.
Right.
I want to see your
Right.
face.
Right.
I want to see what's going on with you. I care about you as a person. And guess
Absolutely.
what? We've always had some kind of disease or other. We have a literal flu fucking season. Okay, so this shit is so it's overblown, and it's so okay. Yeah, COVID-19. It's a mild pneumonia. Oh, it spreads really bad. Yeah, and you know what kills it? Sunlight. You know what else kills it? Copper. You know what else kills it? A really good immune system. Oh, but there's an uptick in the cases. Yeah, but there's not an uptick in deaths. And all those cases are asymptomatic. That means there's no sign other than your fucking test said that they had it. What does that tell you? Oh, we got to shut the bars. That's what Whitmer says. We got to shut the bars back down because we had an uptick in cases. Keep reading the articles that they're putting out in the mainstream. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
They're not saying we had an uptick in deaths.
No.
And they're lying about the deaths too. And our governor sent symptomatic COVID people
Of course.
to the nursing homes,
Right.
which had what effect? Killing old people.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of fucking demons, dude.
Yeah.
And I go, you know what? I
It's
want to see your
bullshit.
smile, and I want to give you a great big hug. And when you come to the man cave,
Right.
we're gonna enjoy ourselves. There's
That's
a couple masks in the man cave. Yeah,
That
So
no
people-
one is worn.
people left them there. No,
Yeah.
if we go upstairs in the wood shop area,
That's different.
there's some heavy duty masks. No, there's two masks downstairs. There's one in a package. It's never been opened.
No. I'm talking
And
about
there's
in the shop part of it. Because
Oh, in the shop, yeah. Because if I'm doing a bunch of
Have to.
sanding, I'm gonna put a dust mask on.
Exactly.
I literally was so anti-mask when I was doing stuff and we were off work,
Yeah.
right? That I went in the attic 2 or 3 times pulling HDMI cables and Ethernet cables,
Yep.
and I come back down the second time and I'm like, I started coughing and hacking, and I'm like, fuck, I need to put a mask on. I needed to put a dust mask, but I was so anti-mask
Right,
that I
right,
didn't even
right.
put my own dust mask on, and up in the insulation, I'm kicking around as I'm walking up there. So, anyway, sorry to go on a rant like that, guys, but I love people, and I
Yeah.
love connecting with people, and this is the thing that pisses me off the most, is someone's afraid to not wear they're so fearful,
Yeah.
and they think that it's a law now that they have to do it.
Right.
It's literally Governor Abbott of Texas was like, they just because the uptick, it's mandatory now that you wear a mask.
No, it's not. Fuck off.
And he says it's mandatory you wear a mask and you in public places. And the first time you get a warning, second time you get a fine up to $250. But then he had to state emphatically, no one will ever be put in jail for not adhering to this. I go, what is your fucking point, dude?
Yeah.
If you're sick, if you don't feel well,
Stay
then
the fuck
do what-
home.
Then do what most people do normally when they feel sick. Stay home. And if you're go ahead. Heather,
Oh, I
I'm
was gonna
sorry.
say it was one of the oddest things. I went for a job interview, a face to face, and wearing a mask throughout the whole thing. It was interesting. Like my anxiety kind of got worse during the interview. I couldn't
Absolutely.
feel.
You don't feel comfortable.
I didn't feel comfortable at all through the whole thing. And I'm going, man, if I want to go back to work,
Sean.
this means I have to wear one through the whole shift, and I'm not okay with that.
Shut up. No, this morning Sean got his hair cut. And when I made, see, look at that. It's all prim and proper. No, I had to make a fucking appointment.
Yeah.
And they said, well, it's mandatory you wear a mask to get your hair cut. And it's like, you're getting your fucking hair cut. Really? What's the fucking point? What? Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
put the mic over on him.
Well,
When she was cutting my hair, she was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave your mask a little bit." So I just like took it off. She's like, "Oh no, you have to put it back on." I'm like, "Shit,
Dude,
this is dumb."
it's so ridiculous.
Right.
That we went in, I thank God for Big Matt. You know Big Matt.
Fucking, he put the mask on his eyes.
If I can't see it, it's
Yeah.
not happening.
Yeah.
Right. If I can't see it, it's not
But
happening.
He's kind of my, he's the canary in the coal mine. So we'll go up to places, right? And
Yeah.
and they all generally, well, not all. There's a few places that have taken them down, but the majority of the places that you can go for lunch and stuff like that have the signs up say masks are mandatory. And I'm not conforming. I'm sorry. I think it's bullshit, and I actually walk that walk. So I walk into places, right? Well, Matt tends to like try to go ahead of me.
Yeah.
So we pulled into Jimmy John's in South Lyon the other day, and it says masks required, masks required. And I'm like, well, sometimes they put that up, but they're just doing it to conform to whatever city council they feel like they need to bow down to, because that's the thing that they hold over them. That's the only reason that Whitmer can put out the edict that bars that make 70% of their money off of liquor have to shut back down for inside service. You know why? Because she's threatening their liquor license. Otherwise, they would tell her to fuck off. But because they hold, just like that barber, she lost that case where the barber, he's like, take my barber's license. I'm 77 years old. I've been cutting hair all my life. I do not fucking care. I have that license for the sake of having it, just to try to conform to your rules. But
Right.
the reality is, I'm still able to cut without that fucking license, so take my license. I'm going to cut hair. He's like, I'm either out of business one way or the other. I'd rather try to stay in business by doing what I do best. He's got fucking lines going down the, down the
Right.
street.
Right.
But I was like, Matt goes up there and he goes, yep. He goes, I opened the door and he goes, you gotta have a mask, you gotta have a mask. He's like, then we're not fucking eating here. And he turned around and walked back. He walked back to the truck before I even got out, and he goes, "Nope, bunch of Nazis in there."
Oh my God.
I'm like, and how stupid are you? I have to wear a mask to walk into a place. They're like, you have to wear the mask while you're ordering, but then you can take it off so you can eat. Oh, thanks for your permission. Tell you what, fuck off.
Yeah,
That's kind of the big thing with
No,
me
it-
at the moment is
it's-
I work at a job where I have to stand behind a hot ass grill between the grill and the fryer for 5 to 6 hours a day. The mask is doing nothing but collecting sweat. We're supposed to have it on, but we just have it on our apron. And if we need to run a bag out to somebody who's waiting, then we put it on to run it out, and then as soon as we walk through the door again, it comes off.
Right.
Because we have to stand in between a 350-degree grill and a 550-degree fryer
Yeah.
for 6 hours, and make runs in between both parts of the kitchen.
Right.
That shit ain't fucking happening.
No, fuck all that.
Sorry.
And
My managers don't even give a shit. They don't even wear theirs.
No, but you
We
guys,
have it on us though, because if their manager comes in,
Right.
we have to have it on to
Right.
conform to it.
Well, and the reality is, you're up in this northern area, down there where we're at, and then even heading east.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get from town to town.
No.
There's some places where it's like, okay, you can walk in, but you got to wear a mask. There's other places where it's posted, you got to wear a mask, and you walk in there, and everybody in there goes,
Fuck you.
we don't fucking care.
Right.
You
That's
know?
kind of what
And
it
we're
is
forced
here.
right. And then it's like, so it's the inconsistency, the hypocrisy, and the lack of common sense is astounding.
Oh yeah.
And I go, do you I just want to look at people and not really shake them, but I kind of want to shake them and go, don't you guys realize don't you see the inconsistency? Don't you see the lack of common sense? And don't you, I mean, I want to walk in there with I've got one of those things. I just want to walk in and go, that's bullshit. You know, the bullshit.
The
knob?
bullshit button. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to walk in there and set it on the counter and go,
That's bullshit.
it's bullshit, you know. And it says like 3 or 4 things. The one of them goes, that's not even close to bullshit. I'd call that horse shit. You got
Well,
something over there, Heather?
I was gonna say
just
to give a shout out to some of the merch that you're doing for This Is My Brain.
Yeah.
What talk about the T-shirt that you have.
Well, the
made
one
up.
T-shirt we have right now, and we're working on some other ones, but the one T-shirt has got the picture. It's a middle finger, and it says "fuck you" in the middle of the shape of the middle finger. That's right at the top, and then below that it says "We are all essential."
Yeah.
And I walked into the one bar after hockey. We got some different places that we go to. We walked in the one bar, and I walked in, and all the waitresses turn around and they greet you. You know, hey, how you doing? And as soon as they all recognized the T-shirt, they were like, "Oh, where'd you get that T-shirt?" I'm like, "I made it." They're like, "Do you have more?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I've got the photo of me with those girls, and it's like all. You want me to pull it up?
Yeah,
Take
pull
me
the
like 10
T-shirt
seconds.
up. Pull the T-shirt up.
So yeah. Anyway, so that's one of the things we're working on. There's a couple other ones. We're gonna work on.
Can you? There it is, right there.
Fuck you. We're all essential. Because I can't stand that. You know, I was able to work.
Right.
Okay. Because we do construction and we're doing remodeling. There's
Right.
me with the 3 waitresses at.
And all of them
Well,
are wearing the
restaurant.
shirts.
All of them are wearing the shirts. They,
That's fucking great, man.
and they loved it. They took a couple extras for some other people. But that's the thing about it is to come out and just deem different people essential and non-essential arbitrarily.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb.
The one case that they lost, it's now kicked up to the Court of Appeals and is probably headed to the Supreme Court that our governor lost. The judge literally looked at it and goes, "This is the ball is in your court. Give me one reason
Right.
to rule on this in your favor, and I'll rule on it. Give me one scientific reason to rule on this in your favor."
Right.
And they couldn't do it. And he goes, "You can't give me a reason why you're doing this?" And they're like, "Well, we just know it's not safe." He's like, I get that you think it's not safe. Give me an actual factual reason why you're doing this." And they
Well,
couldn't
at least
do
somebody's
it.
thinking with their head and not their ass.
There's always that.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we gotta go blow stuff up.
We got to go blow shit up.
and it's that time, but I'm
Gotta
so
blow some shit up.
I'm very glad that everybody was able to come and join us, hang out with us here in the studio. Everybody, please be safe. 4th of July is coming up. Happy birthday early to Kenna.
Yeah, happy birthday to Ken.
And next,
Get together with some people, man.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They're shutting down so many parades and normal things that we should
Concerts.
all be doing.
fairs.
And there's no legitimate scientific justification for any of this shit. The numbers don't bear it out. They
Nope.
don't. We
Nope.
we're at 5,900 people that have died supposedly of corona. We know they're lying about the numbers.
Right.
Because they've said it. They've come out and said,
Yeah.
it's probably 25 to 30% that's inflated or guessed at. Go to the CDC website and actually dig in there.
Right.
You'll find out they have to acknowledge that they're fudging the numbers
course.
and inflating it. We haven't even reached normal flu season deaths.
Not even
The
close.
median age, meaning the average age of those who've died supposedly of corona, is 80 years old. So guess what? They're already past the normal life expectancy, and they're dying of this. And I go,
Right.
Every time there's one young person that dies, they tout it as this huge, look, it's actually killed a young guy. And you go, okay. And then you dig through it and you go, well, he was diabetic and had leukemia. I mean, you know.
That's
So he
the
died
thing
of-
that I've always
he died of
called with
this?
it.
Oh, he's in a car accident. Yeah. He died of COVID. Okay.
He died of lead poisoning because he was shot in the ghetto.
We actually know probably about 4 people that have had it and survived, or 5 people that have had it so far and have made it through.
According
and
to this,
their system, like the oldest one is closer to 70, and she
Again.
it was hard on her.
Right.
It was rough, but she is still doing good, and she's got heart issues and all kinds of stuff. So
and that's the compounding factor is when you get to that age, you generally have a depleted immune system.
a lot of stuff going
And
on.
but either way, the numbers do not justify. They keep saying, "Well, the economy is heavily hurt because of the coronavirus." I'm like, no, it's shut down. The economy is hurt because of the governmental shutdowns.
Yeah.
Justified by their fear of coronavirus. I never saw a single person drop dead. We've never seen a single viral video of a person dropping dead in the United States, let alone Michigan. Okay, yet they were dropping dead in Wuhan of something.
Of course.
Anyways,
so on that note,
drop dead.
Tomorrow,
No, live life.
we're
Yeah.
doing the live show of This Is My Brain. It's not on Saturday. It's on Friday. What time are we doing that? Normal time,
We're
or-
gonna shoot for normal time, 8:00,
Okay.
but we'll see because
And
we're gonna practice beforehand.
of course.
eat
And
some
then
steak or something.
obviously 4th of July party at the Man Cave. Sunday, we're doing Survivor Girl. Happy Survivor Girl Sunday.
sure.
And then
unless she's so wasted from Saturday that she's
right.
like,
Cheese dance, my
I don't know.
fancy cheese dance.
yeah.
and then obviously the normal week craziness. I have to build me a fucking retaining wall at some point. So yeah.
Come
So
on down.
and we're all restreamed on Solid State Radio, not dot
Not
dot net.
Not
blah, blah,
Solid State Radio, no debt.
Yeah, no debt.
SolidStateRadio.net.
SolidStateRadio.net.
help
This
you
is
out
my
here.
brain, Survivor Girl. Don't make this weird. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit all that social
Yeah.
media shit for all of us.
You want a T-shirt?
That's
Let me
right.
know. You guys, I've been yelling at you guys for
Yeah.
like 3 years to get some fucking T-shirts.
I know. I know. That's, getting that cash.
What was the T-shirt we were gonna do with Nate? What was it? The Amazing Asian?
Yeah, the amazing.
Or
Nation.
it was Nate's face and said, "You all go to hair."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
that's what it was.
Hair.
That's what it was. All right, guys, we'll see you next Thursday. Come hang out with us. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Keep it weird. Keep it real.
See you fuckers next Thursday.